kid who swings a golf club like a dream. I'd like to try to qualify him for the U.S. Amateurs.
Coming to Apple TV Plus.
What's your name?
I'm not into older guys, but I'm flattered.
A new comedy series, Stick.
I don't want to go on this trip.
Your mouth's saying one thing, but those eyes are saying something else.
From the home of Ted Lasso.
This is your shot at redemption? This is your mulligan?
Owen Wilson.
This game takes and it takes. The game's finally giving me something back.
Stick.
You know Arnold Palmer?
Iced tea, lemonade, mix it.
I'm missing a nap for this.
Streaming June 4th on Apple TV Plus.
How many discounts does USAA Auto Insurance offer? Too many to say here. Multi-vehicle discount, safe driver discount, new vehicle discount, storage discount, legacy.
How many discounts will you stack up? Visit USAA.com/auto discounts. Restrictions apply.
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
McCrispy strips are now at McDonald's. I hope you're ready for the most dippable chicken in McDonald's history. Dip it in all the sauces. Dip it in that hot sauce in your bag. Dip it in your McFlurry. Your dip is your business. McCrispy strips at McDonald's.
Drink it in, man.
Cornbread! Cornbread! Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Drink it in, man.
Cornbread! Cornbread! Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Drink it in, man. Drink it in, man.
Detroit Koolaid. Detroit Koolaid drinkers. What's going on, everybody? It's your host, Derek Koolaid, right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast, talking about those lines. And like, as I've been saying, I mean, we got through free agency, the draft. We've kind of got, I think I saw today, it's like 55-ish days until the Lions hit camp. They're starting OTAs. We've got rookies and vets. There's always so much to talk about. That's why you guys come to the Koolaid Cast to drink it in with a double-sided cornbread. But today, we got the man, Logan Lamorandier from Detroit Lions on SI. That stands for Sports Illustrated. He gave us a quick turnaround. He's back just a few weeks after coming out of the woodwork, talking Lions. We actually made him laugh a few times. He had a few half and half takes. He had great stats and opinions. He's back. And oh yeah, Chops is here as well. Logan, how you doing, buddy?
Doing great. I know, it's weird. Only a few weeks ago we were talking after months. So yeah, looking forward to continuing where we kind of left off last time. And I mean, it's kind of the slow part of the season, but there's still always plenty to talk about.
No doubt. Do you need to fill up your glass before we get going on this episode?
Yeah, I need a drink right now. So
Drink it
just throw it up. There it is.
There it is. He's feeling good. Chops, would you like
the cornbread? Give him the cornbread.
Choppy, would you like a little bit of that delicious Honolulu blue flavored Kool-Aid as well?
Woo! Drink it in, man.
So you guys both got glasses of Kool-Aid. I'm literally sitting here. This is no lie. People think that all we do is gimmickry and jokes and make up stuff. I'm sitting here with a plate next to me after dinner this evening. Traditional cornbread along with a side of cinnamon cornbread. We literally made it a double here on the show, but I can't eat it right now because we're talking about Lions. We can't mess around. Logan, let's get right into it. We're going to fire questions at you, give you the floor. Chops might say some ridiculousness. I'll probably play a few drops. This will be a good time. So I want to know about Fabio. This is coming out of the woodwork. Alex Anzalone, he's got great hair. We know this. He got paid a few years ago, and we looked at the contract for like 3 years, like 8 per, and we were just frustrated by the length of the deal. This guy's been a great Lion, though. He keeps being better and better, and here we go again. He's kind of holding out. He wants more money. Like, what's your take on this? And I guess I'm asking, can we keep him, and how? And also, how important is it to keep him at a big-time number or at another extended deal for Fabio?
Yeah, so he's had a rocky roller coaster ride with the Lions. When he first came to Detroit, I thought he was a good player and he was athletic, which I liked, and he had a lot of good traits. And he didn't have a whole lot around him. And then as the Lions' defense has improved, he's also improved. And then once he kind of moved away, Jack Campbell came in. He moved over to the Will, where it's a little bit more run and chase. He started making more plays, and he's still like the leader of the defense. And last year when he went down with injury, I'm like, you know what, Rodrigo, he can step it up, and I don't think there'll be that big of a drop off. But I like Rodriguez, and when Anzalone was gone, though, you could definitely tell a difference. And when Anzalone came back, it was a big difference as well, and I think more so in coverage. So he's a big part to the defense, and I don't think it's necessarily easy to replace. But he's already, I think he's going to be 31 here soon, right? So that's getting up there in age. Like, I just don't know how the Lions are going to keep paying all these players without eventually having to start relying on some of their younger players to step up. Because otherwise, in the NFL, you can't pay every single person. And the Lions have all this young talent that is all starting to get paid. So I just don't know where they would fit him in yet. And if you're going to choose a position maybe to go cheaper at, I would kind of hope it's linebacker. So yes, Anzalone is important, but at the same time, I don't think he's necessarily all pro. He's not that type of player where you have to have him, but he is important to the defense. But again, if I had to, kind of pick and choose which areas of the team I'd want to spend money on, linebacker is probably not going to be super high up the list. So I'm probably riding the fence here. I'm not saying that, he's totally replaceable, but I wouldn't be super concerned about bringing him back if he's looking for big money, just because the Lions can't do that, and it's at a lesser position or a lesser position value.
Chops, I'm going to kick it over to you, but Logan kind of said he circled back. I think that's a take. I think that's a strong take that I was surprised by, because I know Chops just think it's funny money and pay everyone, and he is a leader, so it'd be really crazy just to kind of like hold the purse strings and not keep him. But I must say I'm kind of leaning more towards the Logan take. I think it's going to be hard to give you multiple years, big increase in money when you got Jack Campbell, Revord sitting there as well. You got Rodrigo, who you mentioned. That was the live version. Here's the sound drop.
Rodrigo!
And you got Derek Barnes you just paid. So, Chops, I'm coming to you. You can give a quick take if you'd like. I know you're just going to say pay the man because he's got great hair and he's a leader, but I got to go with Logan on this one, and a strong take from Mr. Lamorandier off the get-go.
Well, I mean, you immediately set me up for failure because you said quick take. This is the Detroit Koolaid Cast, and this is at Chops in the D that you're talking to. So you're not going to get anything quick about my takes. So I know that the people listened to my rant about it last week, but Logan made my point for me already. The defense in the middle of the field suffered when he went down last year. It did not look good. Rodrigo did not step up like I had hoped he would. And, I don't think Jack Campbell's quite there yet, especially in the coverage situations. So to me, I've already told, the people my take on this. I think they're going to pay him. They're going to do some crazy, extension where he gets paid this year, gets paid next year, and then there's a dead cap hit the year after that. He'll be 33, probably have a Super Bowl under his belt, ready to set him off into the sunset. So, I mean, right now, again, a week later, we're still sitting at over $40 million in cap space. Give the man some money.
Oh boy! All right, keep it moving. I could fire off more questions. I could talk for days. I will give you the floor if you got a question for Logan or you want to just do your thing again. Go ahead.
Oh, you're gonna give it right back to me? My take was fast enough that well, here's my response.
I mean, I'm gonna regret it.
So I think Brad, always open for business homes, kind of actually maybe pseudo kind of responded for us with this little move here, signing Zach Cunningham from the Eagles. Logan, thoughts?
I mean, he was a good player at once, and you know he's getting up there in age too. I wouldn't say he's an Anzalone replacement, but you know I did want to touch back on the cap space part. Even though the Lions have like $40 million worth of cap space this year, all these contracts the Lions have handed out to their young players, which you need to do. They're your young core of the roster. You need to pay them. The Lions are projected at like $50 million over the cap next season. I know the cap will go up, and you know, with the cap space we have now, we'll transfer over. But it's not like we have a whole bunch of money moving forward to pay Anzalone. But anyways, okay, so Zach Cunningham. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's necessarily anything long term. When they sign him, like, that's good veteran depth. But the Lions linebacker room, they don't really have, you know, if they only keep 5, maybe 6 linebackers, and usually the back end of their linebackers are just core special team players and not necessarily great linebackers. They're more relied upon to be special teamers that can play linebacker in a pinch. Zach Cunningham, I don't know where his role is going to be. Essentially, that's where I'm kind of still in wait and see mode with him, because who knows? I'm not seeing it right now.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of joking about about Zach Cunningham just being a straight up replacement, but I thought it was just kind of funny that. Yeah, I mean, to me, this was more of like I mean, some people may have taken this as like a FU Anzalone just because like he's holding out allegedly. And, you know, the next move the Lions make is to sign a linebacker. So, of course, I figured people would come out of the woodworks with like, oh, see, we don't need him. But, I mean, does the Derek Barnes extension, you know, getting paid a bit more, like, does that kind of shy you away from Anzalone? Because, again, Barnes is making $8 million next year. Actually, I think $9 million on cap hit next year.
I mean, the whole Barnes thing, I get why they paid him. And it's only, it's $8 million a year. It's not huge money, so I can live with that. But the whole Derek Barnes position in this defense, it might be more of a scheme thing for me, where he's basically like a 3-4 outside linebacker in a lot of ways. He's that same position, he plays on the line, and he's good against the run. But when he rushes the passer, there's not a whole lot there. His pass rush win rate is always towards the bottom, and it's like, why even have him rush the passer? How would you get? And we talked about this a little bit on the draft, the post-draft show, where I would have liked to actually see maybe a Barnes type player that can rush the passer a bit. So yeah, paying Barnes, you're going to have to pay Campbell. I just don't know. You can't pay every position. The Lions are starting to get into salary cap trouble here in the next few years, and yes, you can always work around it and move some down the line and just keep moving it further down the line. But that's going to come to bite you at some point. So it's for Anzalone. I get he's the leader of the defense, but you have to pay the young guys. And that's what the Lions have been doing. I've been happy with that. You have to pay your homegrown talent. And especially when you have so many players that have to be paid, you can't be super active in free agency, and you got to hit in the draft and develop those players. And the Lions really didn't do that this year, like I kind of wanted them to find an Anzalone replacement. But it's just there's always going to be some holes on the roster. Even complete teams will have some issues here and there. In the linebacker spot, I wouldn't consider it a hole, but without Anzalone, there's a hole there. But I don't. I just find it tough to find the money to pay Anzalone. So back on that train of, yeah, we're talking about Anzalone's future, but they're going to have to do something or rework some contracts, I feel like, to make it work. They can't keep paying everybody.
Well, the host of the show will tell you that Derek Barnes spells his first name terribly. But what else does the host, Derek Oakrey, have to say about Derek Barnes getting Piz-Aid and now possibly costing us Anzalone? I directly would blame Derek Barnes.
Yeah.
Chops, can I give my Zach Cunningham take in a way that strictly you will even understand?
Go for it.
Whoop-de-doo, bozo. Don't care. Like, to me, this is like, this guy was good 6 years ago. I mean, it's a depth signing. It's a guy that's played a lot of football. You know, there you go. Congratulations. So that has no impact on Anzalone to me. That's just a, oh, by the way, whoop-de-doo, Hujamadilla. So that's that. Derek Barnes, on the other hand, is a physical specimen. I didn't hate the contract. He's young. He was a pass rusher. They grew him up to be a linebacker. Now I think he's actually going to do more pass rushing, which Logan said he can't do based on his stats or his numbers, analytics, or whatever. Yeah, this guy rushed the passer great in Purdue. He's an absolute monster when it comes to speed, strength, size for what he does. Like, I see no reason why he can't fly off the edge and get some things done, as well as play the linebacker a lot better than he did. So I like him, Jack Campbell, Rodrigo. I got no problems with Fabio, but like I said, you guys keep coming back to how you gonna fit him in. I think there are replacements on the right and things they can do. I don't really advise that, but I think that I don't think it's going to come to that. But
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Summer's here, and you can now get almost anything you need for your sunny days delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a well-groomed lawn delivered, but you can get a chicken parmesan delivered. A cabana? That's a no. But a banana? That's a yes. A nice tan? Sorry, nope. But a box fan? Happily, yes. A day of sunshine? No. A box of fine wines? Yes. Uber Eats can definitely get you that. Get almost anything delivered with Uber Eats. Order now. Alcohol in select markets. Product availability may vary by region. See app for details.
Not all EVs are created equal. The Ioniq 9 sets a new standard. Hyundai's first all-electric EV with 3 rows. Space in an EV. Finally. Plus, with over 300 miles of range, ultra-fast charging capability, and tech infused with safety features, this isn't just space. It's freedom reimagined. More room, more possibilities. Learn more about the Ioniq 9 at HyundaiUSA.com. Call 562-314-4603 for complete details.
It's the Smucker's Uncrustables podcast with your host, Uncrustables. Okay, today's guest is rough around the edges. Please welcome Crust.
Thanks for having me.
Today's topic, he's round with soft, pillowy bread.
Hey.
Filled with delicious PB&J.
Are you talking about yourself?
And you can take him anywhere.
Why'd you invite?
And we are out of time.
Are you really cutting me off?
Uncrustables are the best part of the sandwich. Sorry, Crust.
Hey, it's Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast. The NBA playoffs are here, and Michelob Ultra is getting you closer to the game than ever with courtside seats and more. Enter now at MichelobUltra.com/courtside. Michelob Ultra Superior Access Courtside 2024 to 2025 sweepstakes. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents 21 or older. Ends on July 1st, 2025. Multiple entry periods. Visit MichelobUltra.com/superior access/courtside for free entry deadlines and official rules. Message and data rates may apply. Void where prohibited.
If it did, you're not totally bare at that position. That's first and foremost. But what I want to talk about is my guy, #Jamo Fast. Logan, he kind of sounds like this when he starts running. He gets those legs rolling and just blowing by defenses, but it's so on my mind of just like, okay, we gave him a 5th-year option. He put up 1,000, barely saw the football, not many catches, still finds the end zone quite a bit. Like, where are you at with Jamo? Do you feel like he has this high ceiling where he can put up crazy numbers out of nowhere? Is he always going to be a Deshaun Jackson type? And if you had to project forward, do you think this is a guy that's here in Detroit for another year or two? Or maybe a guy they keep around because he is just that dynamic and you just can't find guys like this?
I mean, it is tough to find guys like him. You know, it's kind of, he goes against the grain for, I feel like, what the Lions want, you know. Jared Goff always seems to play well with players who are consistent, like route runners, and, you know, always knows where they're going to be. And with Jamo, it's just get him the ball and let him run in the open field, and he makes something happen. And he makes a ton of flashy plays, which are a ton of fun as well. And you just wonder, are the Lions going to be willing to pay as much as he might be looking for? Because, you know, in a way, I feel like there's going to be a team out there who would be willing to pay Jamo more. But you can say that, I guess, about a lot of players who re-sign with a team. It's like, well, if they hit the open market, they might be able to get more. But I think the Lions have, you know, obviously given them the fifth-year extension. You know, they want to keep him around, and I would love to keep him around too. But it's kind of in the same boat as Anzalone. It's like, well, how much can you pay a number 2 receiver when you're already paying a number 1 receiver? So I would love to keep Jameson Williams around because he does add just a completely different element to the game that really no one has on the Lions roster, I feel like. You can do a lot of trick plays with him, and there's he spreads out the field with his deep speed. So I'm happy with Jameson Williams where he's at. Looking back on trading up to get him, like, yeah, he might not be. I was said at the beginning of last year, if he got 1,000 yards, I'd be more than happy, and he did. He just barely got 1,000 yards, but he as a number 2 receiver, and who knows what he would be if he was a true number 1 receiver. I'm not sure if he's quite there yet, but if he went to a system where he's being fed the ball a ton, yeah, he could probably rack up some crazy stats, especially if it's a downfield passing attack. But the Lions system is pretty good for him too. He's done well, so I think it's important the Lions have somebody like him, and they're Jameson Williams. Those type of players aren't easy to find, even though you can find fast players. Sometimes they just don't translate into production. So yeah, I'm on board with keeping Jameson Williams, but again, I don't know where we're going to start getting all this money from. We've given out so many big contracts, and you're going to have to make some cuts elsewhere, or just have these rookies and younger players really start stepping up to fill veteran positions. So
Real quick
I'm good with Jameson Williams.
The trade for Jameson Williams is one of the greater draft trades of all time. When you go back and look, we moved up like 30, from 32 to 12, and gave up nothing. Like a third round swap is what it ended up being, and a couple stiffs that didn't make it for good old Minnesota. So that's first and foremost. Before I kick it back to Choppy Chop for another question, then we have to take a commercial break. Is what's a Logan Lamorandier stat line in 2025 for Jamo look like in broad strokes?
I think it's very similar to what he had last year. Like, you would hope he'd improve, but you know, the offense, yeah, you'd love it to get even better than last year, but it was humming pretty good last year. It's going to be tough to get any better than that. So I think 1,000 yards again, and remember, he's a number 2 receiver. He's not getting a ton of targets. If he has 1,000 yards again, I think I'm more than happy with that. And yeah, you're always going to want to have more and more, but I don't know if that's reasonable expectations to really place on him, being that there's so many options in the offense. Just keep making explosive plays. And I really don't care like how many yards or catches he has, but he needs to bring that dynamic of explosive plays to the offense. And he did that beautifully last year.
See, I have a counter take. I know Chops will bring up the Vegas line. It's at like 850 total yards. You're saying 1,000 your set. I think this guy's going to be more than most people think. I think Johnny Moe, the new coordinator, is going to accentuate the receivers. This guy has the ability to take a nice uptick and be just more dynamic, more volume, all that type of stuff. So I'm excited to see what he can bring this year, and I'm really hoping he just gets the football a lot more and shows that he deserves it. Chop, what do you got, bro?
There's just, I mean, it's a good problem to have, but there's so many mouths to feed in this offense. I can't imagine. I mean, unless but the way he breaks out plays though, like okay, so he made 1,000 yards this year. Like 3 more big plays and he's at 1,200 yards. I mean, the way this guy catches the ball, so it's not unrealistic to me for him to hit 1,200, but. Again, you got to keep the Laporta supporters happy. You got to keep Amon-Ra happy. You got to feed the ball to all the running backs. You got these rookie wide receivers. Some people think Isaac Tesla is going to have 65 catches this year. Hit the Twitterverse on that one. But look, there's just so many mouths to feed, and there's only one football to pass around. Yes, my boy, the hashtag Goff train is going to deliver the ball on time, on target, all day, every day, but. Again, I mean, we led the league in scoring last year. Are we going to really be able to duplicate that and then some next year?
Right. Yeah, that's what I was saying the same thing. I don't know how much more there is to go around unless there's injuries or other like Laporta or Gibbs or St. Brown have a massive fall off. I think Jameson's role last year was is about as good as it's going to get in Detroit.
See, but that take is like everyone stays healthy, everyone stays the same. Like people can fall down, he can jump up. Guys could get injured. He steps up. Other guys, it's a very sliding scale in the NFL. This isn't exactly what happened last year. Plus 2%. That's not how it goes down. So, Choppy, do you got another question, or should we get our break in and come back and just keep firing at Logan so he can both defend himself and give great takes and entertain the people?
Well, I mean, look, it's always fun to just fire stuff at Logan and watch him, give takes and then, start to veer one way, but then quick pull himself back so he's back on the fence. He's got to really, ride the line there, make sure he doesn't say anything too bold. But,
it's an art.
No, yeah. I mean, it's a hard line. It's a hard line to ride there. But I would say this, again, I've seen some of this comparison with Jamo to the Deshaun Jackson in his prime, where it was he was only going to get 40 to 60 catches, but he was going to break 1,000 yards, especially in those early years in Philly and Washington before, of course, just everybody still thought he was, he kind of fell off the rails there. But I just can't see, I mean, Jamo's just isn't going to be the number one guy. So I just can't see him, really going crazy. But I mean, does he remind you, Logan, of any other player kind of that role that he's playing? Like you said, he's kind of a unicorn.
I mean, yeah, Deshaun Jackson's just the easy one, but Deshaun Jackson was the number one receiver for a while too, so he got the ball a lot more. But like a Mike Wallace type, but even Mike Wallace was a number one receiver. I was kind of trying to remember, that was the Antonio Brown years too, kind of when he started coming on. But
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, every offense is so different. As a true speed receiver, it would be fun to see what Jamo could do as a true number one receiver, but I don't want to see that because that means St. Brown is somewhere else, and I want him on the field at all times as well.
He's getting paid.
He is. He should be.
You guys are over here driving bonkers with these takes.
That drives me freaking bonkers.
You're very underselling Jameson Williams. I mean, what the hell?
What the hell are you doing?
No, these are all the things I've heard, and you put the guy on a box, he does this, he's that. I'm telling you, the year 4 payday around the corner. That's why I'm throwing it out there. So let's. I'm looking at the clock here. I'm gonna squeeze one more in, Chops, if you're not gonna go, and I want to know about Aiden Hutchinson. You know him, right, Logan?
Unleash Hutch.
He says he's back from the knee. He's good to go. No limitations. There's a payday coming. I guess I'm just gonna quickly ask you: are you paying him more than Myles Garrett? Are you paying him ASAP? Do you think he wants to play out another year, make an all-pro, have 20 sacks, and then cut the check? I mean, where are you at with the situation? Because all this other boola we talked about doesn't even matter when it comes to Aiden Hutchinson and the Lions.
Yeah, pay him right now. Sooner the better. because his price tag is only going to continue to go up. And the injury, it was bones. I think Hutchinson even said that himself. Like, these aren't ligaments, these are bones healing. And yeah, there's probably still, even though he says he's ready to go, there probably still is, some time where it's going to take before he's the Aiden Hutchinson we saw pre-injury. But I don't think this injury derails any of his trajectory or just the path that he was on. He's one of the premier pass rushers in the league. You need to pay him. The Lions don't have a ton of pass rushers. They need to pay Hutchinson whatever, and if they have to lose out on other players, do it. But I would prefer to pay him as soon as possible. And it honestly, if they can pay him whatever really his asking price is, set the market, because I think that's the type of player he is. He's young. He's everything the Lions want on and off the field. The Lions need him. So, yes, pay him. Pay him whatever he wants.
Chops, here's what I'm going to do for you. First of all, I'm going to commend Logan again on another strong take. Paying the man top dollar now. Now, will Hutchinson do that is the question mark, because I feel like every time Brad always open for business Holmes talks, he says, like, I mean, we're trying to work something out with the player. He's called him a couple times, and the agent, and maybe they don't want to rush to the table. I don't know what's going on. But I want to go take a break. We've had a great first segment. We're at about 30 minutes, way over what we said, which is kind of what we do. Come back. Chops, I'm giving you a double dip on the way back. You get 2 questions. You can have a retort. You can put out stats. You guys can go back and forth. I'll just kick back and relax. So how about that? How's that sound to you, buddy?
Look, you're the host, man. I'm just here riding pilot. We bring in Logan. I'm like, do I even have a purpose on the show other than just some gimmickry and some chuckles in the background? I mean, this is the Oakley and Logan show. That's what the people came for. So you just keep knocking out those questions. I'll throw in a retort here and there. We're gonna love the love fest.
Chops, I've trained you on so many gimmicks. When I say, hey, how's that sound to you? You're just supposed to say this.
Woo! Hashtag choppy liking.
You're just supposed to hashtag it so we can get the break.
Nope.
Everybody, we'll take a quick break. Thank you so much for this. Our sponsor. We'll be right back with Logan Lamorandier, Detroit Lions on SI, and all types of other media that this guy does. He's a great dude. Really appreciate him coming on. Everybody, we'll be right back. All right, everybody. This goes out to my fantasy football fans out there. Now, you probably heard about Reality Sports Online, the most powerful fantasy sports platform where owners can build and manage their fantasy team like a real NFL general manager. But the question is, have you tried it? I mean, we're talking free agency, multi-year contracts, rookie drafts, multi-team trades. You could put franchise tags on guys. It's as close as you're going to get to being an NFL GM. But do you think it sounds complicated? It's not. I'm here to tell you it's the best thing about Reality Sports Online is it's just more fun than your normal fantasy league, but it doesn't take barely any more time. After all this, are you still not sure? I mean, come on now. You can test your general manager skills by going over to Reality Sports Online, call it RSO. Please go check out realitysportsonline.com right now. Kool-Aid drinkers are back. Thank you so much for drinking that delicious Honolulu Blue Kool-Aid, double-sided cornbread, hyping up those Lions. That's kind of what we do on the show. I promised the man at Chops in the D on the Twitterverse, the X machine, that I was going to lay out, going to let him and Logan go back and forth. Chops will probably agree with everything Logan says. Logan will have a lot of good takes. They'll banter back and forth, and then when they finally let me talk, I'll probably hit you with multiple sound bites. Chops, go ahead.
Yeah, that sounds about right, Oakley. That's how we do here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast whenever we have a distinguished guest of Logan Lamorandier's status.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
This episode is brought to you by Temptations Cat Treats. Your cat will come running for the perfectly irresistible Temptations Creamy Puree and Temptations Lickable Spoon Cat Treats. The best time to feed lickable cat treats to your cat is anytime. Feed by hand for a playful moment, in a bowl for a creamy treat, or as a topper to make mealtime fun. Visit TemptationsTreats.com to learn more. This episode is brought to you by PetSmart. Stop by for Yappy Hour with your pet at PetSmart. Save $5 on walk-in grooming services like nail trims, ear cleaning, brushing, and more. No appointment needed every weekday from 2 to 6 p.m. And while you're there, Yappy Hour includes exclusive in-store deals like 25% off pet toys. Visit services.petsmart.com/grooming to learn more.
Smart Water Alkaline with antioxidant. 9.5 plus pH, now in cans.
Refreshing.
Made for every way you move.
Should I run a marathon?
Let's start with finishing that water. Smart Water Alkaline with antioxidant, now in a sleek can. For those with a taste for taste. Grab yours today.
This episode is brought to you by Loom by Atlassian. Are you feeling stuck at work? Get your team unstuck with Loom video messaging and move work forward. Use Loom to simultaneously record both your screen and yourself to share a quick update, provide feedback, train a colleague, and everything in between. Plus, add Loom AI to your meetings for instant written notes and recordings. Try Loom today at Loom.com. That's LOOM.com.
But hey, let's we touched on Hutch. I want to get your take here, Logan, on Aleem McNeil. Status comes out today. ACL's looking good. Of course, the prototypical "I'm coming back stronger than ever" comes out. What are you hearing about Aleem? When do you think he'll be back? Are you concerned? Because like you just said, this isn't just a bone injury now. We're talking an ACL. So what's your take on the Aleem, the Dream, aka coming back from injury?
I mean, it's one of those things where, they already say the right things. Even if there were like complications, they probably wouldn't say it. It's more so you get into training camp and all of a sudden, I mean, McNeil's not even really in line necessarily to do a whole lot in training camp, but it's always just wait and see. So even though there's reports coming out that says a player is healthy and is going to be back better than ever, I'm always in wait and see mode because there's been a few different times where a player comes back and they're not totally right, even though they're saying all the right things. But he's super important to the Lions defense, outside of Hutch, just that interior pass rush. Levi can do it, and we have bigger defensive ends that can go inside. But if you want to have a defensive tackle, a true defensive tackle rushing the passer, you need Aleem McNeil because the Lions have a bunch of nose tackles on their team outside of him. So I'm not expecting him to be back towards the beginning of the season, but maybe he could be. I'm not giving any type of update or report, but you just never really know. That's how it is with these injuries, and that's the annoying part about them is everyone wants to speculate on when they're going to be back, but it's they'll be back whenever they're ready and good to go. And he's super important to the Lions defense, and you hope it's sooner than later.
So what you're saying, Logan, is that you're not buying into the rumor innuendo that Tyleik Williams was a direct drafted replacement for Aleem McNeil, who may miss significant parts of the season. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, the similarities were like when they were in college. Yeah, they both were athletic nose tackles, which they're hard to find. But Aleem McNeil, he's really progressed and he's lost weight and he's shown that he can get to the passer. I hope that's what Williams can become as well. But no, I don't think it's a direct replacement. I think Williams is. It'd be nice to have two Aleem McNeils if that's how Tyleik turns out. So I'll push for that. And DJ Reader last year of his contract, in my mind, Williams was definitely more of a replacement in a long-term solution next to McNeil. But I wouldn't put all of McNeil's snaps and his type of pressures, I wouldn't create those expectations for Williams in the early part of the season. He's got, some a ways to go, I guess, in that department, or things we haven't seen on film. Maybe he can do it better than we know, and he just didn't get to show it off at Ohio State.
Yeah, this is where I call the host of the show because he probably fell asleep there because you queued him up for the DJ drop and then just nothing. Like it's on a tee. Oakley, hit it out. Cricket, exactly.
Chops, did you say something? I kind of dozed off there a little bit.
Go DJ, that's my DJ. Go DJ, yeah.
Hey, Logan, maybe I need to coach you up a little bit too. Like when you want the drop, you got to say it, like you got to enunciate it, and then kind of like stop talking for a second, let him figure out what button to press, and sometimes you got to like virtually tap him, make sure he's not dozing off or searching for other Lions news and notes on the old intraweb. While you're giving your takes there. So
just like Choppy Chop, I was literally in between bites of cornbread, but also I have about 8 screens. I've got multiple, maybe 5 to 6 soundboards up. So at times it takes me a bit, but this is all on the fly, unplanned, unedited. So I think I do a pretty good job. But I listened to what you guys said. I couldn't find any funny gimmickry. I mean, those were decent takes. I hope for Tyleek. I like a.k.a. Honey Bun, a.k.a. Twinkle Toes, a.k.a. I don't think he'll be back sooner than later. I do think it's Bula Bula speak. But I want to keep this moving because I got more questions. And I know that Logan's not up on all the gimmickry that we do on this show, but there's this guy that we drafted a couple years ago. He wears number 46. He's got the same last name as our head coach, but he's known on this show, which I did earlier, as Revord. And the reason why, Logan, is because I had this kid in my high school whose name was Revord, and the gym teacher, the football coach, would just yell that as loud as possible. And you want to know what Revord looked like? He was a belt buckle wearing, no haircut having, white t-shirt wearing, extra tight jeans, farm boy, plowing, son of a gun, and all he cared about was football and nothing else, and that's what I see in Jack Campbell. So my question to you is, what's your upside for Reeve Ward? Like, I feel like the guy has made strides each year. I've grown to love his character, just the way he plays the game, but can this guy wear the green dot? Can he make every play? Can he actually make more than just a bunch of tackles behind or after the line of scrimmage? Like, are you high on Mr. Campbell, or do you think there's a limitation there from this player?
I've always thought his ceiling was very high. Even back when he was at Iowa, he was making a lot of plays, and a lot of them are your boring middle linebacker type of plays, but I think that's what the Lions truly need in the middle of their defense. Do I think he's going to all of a sudden start getting a bunch of picks and turnovers? I mean, that's a bit random. That could happen, but I don't think that's the type of player he is. But he has all the athletic traits, the size, the speed. I feel like he can do it all, and he's a smart player. So I do feel that going back to Anzalone, I think he could take the green dot from him. And I think we'd just be all right. And he has a high football IQ. He does everything we need a middle linebacker to do. It just might not be super flashy. And I'd love to see more of those plays out of him. But again, in the Lions scheme, we also saw Anzalone start making more flashy plays when he moved away from the Mike backer spot and over to the weak side, where it is a lot more, I think, opportunities to get in the backfield and out in open space. And that's not necessarily Jack Campbell's strength to be out in the open space, but I think he can. But you just don't find many guys his size that are able to just do what he does in the middle of the field. So I was really happy with what I saw, his progress last year. I thought he got a lot better and was much more reliable, and just does a lot of the smaller things well that maybe go a bit unnoticed, kind of like D tackles or nose tackles. There's just things that they do that keep the defense humming along that might not necessarily show up on the stat sheet, or some games he just has 10 tackles. You're like, oh, like, how do you get that many tackles? It's just because he's in the middle, just bringing everything into him, and making the plays when he needs to and not making mistakes.
Logan, I couldn't agree more. Tremendous thoughts by you. I'm right on the same page. I'm glad we see it the same. My last question to you is, how do you feel about the Revord nickname? Do you think it fits the way I described it? Is that one that you'll give a thumbs up? Would you maybe play the bell in agreement with that nickname, or does it get a thumbs down from you?
Are you saying like reward, but with a V?
Revord.
This episode is brought to you by GM Genuine Parts and AC Delco. Get the most out of your vehicle with GM Genuine Parts and AC Delco original equipment. The only parts designed, engineered, tested, and backed by General Motors. You can find your perfect fit for most makes and models and choose from 3 tiers of parts, including GM OE or gold and silver aftermarket parts. Visit gmparts.com for more information.
Walmart Business is in the business of saving you time, money, and hassle. Whether your business started in a garage or is a garage, Walmart Business has the tools to help you get where you're going. Tools like free shipping, multi-user accounts, and just about any item your company needs.
Even a double filtration cyclone dust collector.
Yep, even that.
Sweet.
Walmart Business. It's the Walmart you love, now for your business. Learn more at business.walmart.com. Terms apply.
Your gut affects everything, even your mood. So Ollie created 2 brand new products to take care of your insides. Ollie Big 10 Probiotic has 10 strains of probiotics, their most ever, to support a healthy gut microbiome, immune system, and stress response. And Ollie Super Good Superfoods delivers 15 superfoods in tasty gummy form. Find them at ollie.com and exclusively at Walmart.
Ollie!
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Impact confirmed. The Slayer has been activated.
Demonic threat level increasing.
Hold the line!
All the power of hell cowering before one man.
id Software presents Doom, The Dark Ages. Available now on Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC.
Rated M for mature.
This episode is brought to you by Principles. Are there limits to the U.S. government's debt growth? What will happen if the debts are not curtailed? What should policymakers or investors do? Those are urgent questions that legendary investor and New York Times bestselling author Ray Dalio addresses in his new book, How Countries Go Broke, The Big Cycle. The book comes out in June and is available for pre-order today, wherever books are sold.
So, like, this is the guy's last
okay.
name. And you just got to look at a guy that wears a cowboy hat, maybe, like, has only, like, 3 pairs of clothing, but he doesn't care. He's just a tackling machine, a football dude, and the football coach just wears him out every day by saying, Revord, get over here! That kind of stuff.
The description it's very fitting. If I could just see a picture of this reward guy, maybe it'd stick a little bit better.
He looks like Jack Campbell. Let's put it that way. All right, the nickname survives. Choppy Chop, what else you got, buddy?
I was just going to ask Logan if he remember. Hang on. All right, here it is. I have a direct quote from Derek Oakrey when the Lions selected Jack Campbell, and it says, "What are we doing? Big, clunky, unathletic Iowa jabroni. Why is this guy on my team?" Now he loves him and he wants to pay him. Any response to that, Logan?
I appreciate the word jabroni. I'm glad you used that word. But, when they drafted him, he was one of my favorite, second-round players. So when they took him in the first, I'm like, he's a great football player. Like, I didn't know why I knew why he was being projected in the second round. And it's because that was kind of the thought that he just was big and clunky. But you go and look at the testing, and, maybe the film lied a little bit. But, he was a highly athletic player and with just massive frame and is a good football player. He's kind of been exactly what I thought he would be. So I can't disagree, but it was a little bit of a reach, but I didn't have a problem with that pick. It sounds bad to say now, but I had more of a problem with selecting Gibbs in the first round. I knew he was going to be an electric player, and the main reason you don't want to have a running back high in the first round is like, what's the shelf life on the player? But the Jack Campbell pick, I'm trying to think back. It's probably like a B plus for me. I was happy with it, even though it's considered a reach by a lot of draft analysts. I thought he was a really good player.
Hold on. We're going back to Chops, but since he took a shot at me, even though it was kind of true, as he was saying that, I'm going to play this, which I think Logan will appreciate.
Did this big jabroni say...
Did Chops say that? And then Logan says he didn't like the Gibbs pick.
Did this big jabroni say...
I mean, are you kidding me? Like, we could just keep rolling with these if you have takes like that. So, yeah, I was not a fan of Jack Campbell. I now have a white crispy 46 that will be debuted this year at a tailgate near you at some point. Choppy Chop, go ahead. What else you got here? Let's keep it rolling.
Oh, buddy. Hey, is this the part where I ask Logan Lamorandier, who very correctly predicted that in 2026 the Lions currently sit at negative $35 million in cap space? Logan, are you the cap master, much like the Chopster over here, who can figure out this funny money of the NFL and Any idea what they're going to do? Because I know Derek Ogre's plan would just be, I don't know, to like trade Jared Goff and his $69 million cap hit and go, hey, let's let Hendon Hooker play.
Wow!
Shut up, Frank. Sorry, go ahead.
So, yeah, you start looking at the bigger contracts, and there's, I'm not going to say I'm up to date on the 2026 cap. I haven't looked all that closely into it, but you have guys like Taylor Decker who are kind of, they're in that ballpark where they could save some money by letting them go, but that's a big piece of their offensive line. I feel like everything the Lions do revolves around their offensive line, and if you don't have a direct replacement, you'd hope Manu would be that guy, but I'm not getting my hopes up for that. I hope he progresses, but to be a starting left tackle, or if Sewell wanted to move to the left and Giovanni to the right, then okay. But I think he's like the prime candidate to have to cut. But again, you can rework contracts and keep pushing stuff down the line, and the Lions haven't even paid everyone yet. That's kind of been the theme of this whole show, is how do they keep paying players? And I'm going to pay Hutchinson whatever, and if you have to cut guys, you have to cut guys. But Anzalone, if you have to pay him, I can't think of too many guys I'd want to cut to keep Anzalone, unless it's a bunch of smaller contracts, but then there goes your depth. So I think Taylor Decker is one who would be interesting next year if they have to make a difficult decision. But outside of that, I can't think of a whole lot of guys where it's like, let's just cut ties with him. But the Lions have the core of their team. They're paying them all right now, so it's tough to do. Maybe try to trade someone, but again, I don't know who we'd try to trade. There's not a whole lot of options. That's why I think the Lions, truthfully, I feel like that's why they have so much cap space this year, is they're trying to transfer as much as they can from this year over to next year so they can just get by without having to make a bunch of cuts.
Yeah, that's a tough question to ask, of course, with me just putting you on the spot, not having the stats in front of you. But interestingly enough, Decker's cap hit next year, $21 million, but his dead cap's only $9 million. And to double down, Frank Ragnow, $16 million cap hit. His dead cap hit is only $3.5 million. So, it'd be crazy to think that in 2 years after this season, the Lions could potentially say goodbye to both Decker and Ragnasty and somehow save almost $30 million on the cap. But, again, I always go back to the funny money. Jared Goff comes in and says, yeah, sure, I'll take a $50 million bonus and you can lower my cap hit to 16 and all this crazy nonsense that happens.
Is he going to do that? I'm still waiting. Is that happening?
Dude, he's gonna do it because he wants to win. Ogre, give me a break, man. Like,
that's better for him anyways. He gets all the money up front.
It's just money in the bank.
Yeah.
I'm
the
waiting
Lions
for
aren't
the Jared
collecting the
Goff
interest
coupon
on that. He gets to get paid on it right away. Like,
I'm waiting for the golf discount, the clearance rack, the coupon, the give back.
You have it this year, man. You have it this year. He's literally getting paid like $30 million this year. Like, you've been getting it. So he's a top 10 quarterback, probably higher. You've been getting him at a discount. Let's start talking about we could do a whole show on quarterbacks and how much they get paid and how Jared Goff is not a problem compared to the rest of the quarterbacks in the NFL. But look, that's neither here nor there. So, Logan, the last question I got for you, we'll move on from all the
Parents of twins, if you're familiar with far-off drop-offs...
Dad, stop, right here.
Or get DMs about what's for dinner, you may be experiencing tween milestones. For your son or daughter, these can start at age 9. HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against certain HPV-related cancers, can start then too.
For most, HPV clears on its own. But for those who don't clear the virus, it can cause certain cancers later in life.
Embrace this phase. Help protect them in the next.
Ask their doctor today about HPV vaccination. Brought to you by Merck.
Get ready for Universal Epic Universe, featuring the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic, and Super Nintendo World. Now open at Universal Orlando Resort. Tickets and packages on sale now at universalorlando.com.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place. For changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
We off? 30 seconds of carefree bliss. Oof, like wind in your hair carefree. Oh, like using Clorox Disinfecting All-Purpose Cleaner in the home carefree. Yes! Like dog slobbing on the coffee table and cleaning it with Clorox Carefree? He's on a roll now. Spit toothpaste on the faucet. You got it. You got it. Peanut butter on the light switch. Oh, spritz, spritz. Spritz, spritz. Clorox, man. Clean feels good. Okay, we're back. Use as directed.
Grandpa's here.
Hank's always helping out. Grandpa style. Now he's treating his prostate cancer with help from Xtandi enzalutamide. Xtandi 40 milligram tablets treats men with prostate cancer that has spread to other parts of the body and responds to a medical or surgical treatment to lower testosterone. Xtandi may cause serious side effects: seizure, a brain condition called PRESS, allergic reactions, heart disease that can lead to death, falls and bone fractures, swallowing problems, or choking that can lead to death. Stop Xtandi and get medical help at once if your face, tongue, lip, or throat start swelling. Tell your doctor at once if you faint, have a seizure, quickly worsening headache, decreased alertness, confusion, vision problems, chest pain or discomfort, or shortness of breath. Xtandi can cause harm to an unborn baby or miscarriage. Use birth control during and 3 months after Xtandi. Common side effects include muscle and joint pain, feeling unusually tired, hot flashes, constipation, less appetite, diarrhea, high blood pressure, bleeding, falls, fractures, and headache. Talk to your doctor and visit Xtandi.com.
App and the stats and the numbers. I want to get an opinion of yours. Announced, sort of kind of breaking news. Lions are going to have joint practices with the Miami Dolphins this year. Do you like these joint practices? What are your takes on them? And do you care who we do them with, or if we do them at all?
Wow. So, truthfully, yeah, I like joint practices because the Lions can work on whatever they want to work on with their starters in a protected environment, hopefully don't have injuries. But from a preseason standpoint, yeah, you don't really get to see the starters much if they're doing joint practices, but you do get to see the younger guys. So I think it's good. I think the Lions are doing the right thing by trying to do joint practices to get their starters ready and kind of eliminate them from having to play much in the preseason games and really give their younger players and guys who are fighting for a roster spot their time to shine. So I like them. It makes the preseason games a little less exciting because you're not seeing any of the bigger names play. But again, it's for the better of the team. It's for the better of the regular season, which is the important thing. I don't really care about winning and losing in preseason. Dan Campbell might say otherwise, but it's like the biggest goal out of every preseason is just have all your starters and important pieces healthy going into the regular season. That's all I
Don't
care about.
Yeah, exactly. Don't get hurt and get into the season healthy.
Logan,
Right, so-
I have exclusive Dan Campbell audio on strictly his thoughts on the preseason. You want to hear it?
Yeah, let me hear what he has to say.
And I don't give a crap.
Thanks, Dan. He's proven that by playing no one for the past 4 seasons here in Detroit. But I want to shoot off a couple more, but then we'll get up out of here. We haven't done a great job promoing like we said we would or we should. So I threw out Detroit Lions on SI a couple times. And Logan, am I correct? Like, I think that you're just such a busy man across the board, and the Twins are keeping you crazy, and life is just off the rails. That like you're not out doing all the media you used to do, but somehow we reeled you in to do this goofy show, which is a ton of fun, and let you talk Lions, which I know you enjoy doing as time permits, which is very limited. So feel free to either throw out anything else you want or just like, we're hoping we're going to do this a little more regularly because, I mean, you bring great opinions, takes, stats, all that type of stuff. I got to put you in check a few times, like when you run down DeAndre Swift because you hate him so much, or like, you start talking about height, weight, speed. I got to pull you back in, get you one of those Brad Holmes hoodies. But other than that, I got no issues with you. Just a great guest across the board. But anything else you want to throw out? Or I know you got the Facebook page, you got the Lions Lowdown, all that type of stuff going on.
Oh yeah, the usual places. So Detroit Lions on SI is the website, and I mean there's daily, just if you can't get enough Detroit Lions, it's all covered there. They got everything there. They have Facebook. If you want to follow Detroit Lions Lowdown, or that's what it was. X or whatever it's called, Twitter. I don't even know all the social media accounts. Blue Sky, Threads. Just type in Lamorandier. You can find me there. And yeah, I'm posting stuff and trying to stay as active as possible.
Man, well, we can't thank you enough for coming out here, as well as I think it's L Lamorandier on all the socials, right? That's what you said last time.
Well, it is and it isn't. It's just if you type in Lamorandier, it'll pop up. Okay. I have too many family members who also have L's as the start of their first name, and they're stealing my handles.
Lots of family members with a double L and then the classic last name. So watch out for imposters.
I can relate.
There you go. Yeah, we know about that on this show. But no, definitely on the Twitterverse, the X Machine, always putting out the good content, the takes, as well as those article links come out, which I'm always trying to get you the quick retweet, the like, all that type of stuff. But all good things there. I got a couple just real quick ones, I guess. Like, tell me if I've asked you this before. I already played the drop, so I'm not going to do it again, but it's DJ, that's my DJ Reed this time, rather than Shark or Reader. Or so, like, did we ask you, are you, like, do you think DJ Reed is greater than the Carlton? I mean, I know Chops wants the drop at least one more time.
It's not unusual to
And my question is, Logan, did you do the dance when I hit that drop? Because, I mean, everybody has to do the Carlton dance when you hear that. Am I wrong?
I haven't heard that in a while. I think the last time, I might be showing my age here, but Alfonso Smith with the Lions did the Carlton dance one time, and it was awesome.
Exactly.
It was a celebration a while ago when he had
moment.
6 interceptions in a season. I thought he was going to be the next Dre Bly, and then just fell off the map. But
so I'm going to pretend you did the Alfonso Smith in your chair there while we're chatting.
Yeah.
But like, do you think DJ Reed is improvement, better than? I mean, have you given this thought, or did I not ask you this yet? Because I'm curious.
I don't know if we've talked about it on air or not, or but yeah, I think DJ Reed. I think he has been a very similar, tier of where Carlton was, and for getting him for less money, that's a win. And I kind of thought that DJ Reed would be paid more than Carlton Davis, but maybe it's just because he doesn't have the exact prototypical size that he didn't. But I think he can do everything that Carlton Davis can do. So I was more than happy with that, and I do wish we had a little bit more size at corner, but the Lions corners that they have are all very feisty, and they'll hit you. They're not afraid to lay the wood, and they're going to be aggressive and tackling and run defense. But at the same time, I do. Uh, we have coverage guys, but I wish I DJ Reed was an upgrade, but I still think we could be better in the true coverage department. But I don't think that's kind of like the Derek Barnes argument, where it's more of like a scheme thing, where I might be wishing for things that the Lions just aren't. Yes, coverage is important as a cornerback, but you have to be able to tackle, and I get it, but it is what it is.
I think people will be pleasantly surprised by him. So, Chops, I know that's your guy.
I think
DJ
Logan
Reed,
forgot that. Logan forgot that Amik Robertson just shut down Justin Jefferson last year in that that late season game. So he's totally forgetting about Amik there.
I'm gonna expect that out of Amik every single game. He's our new Darrell Revis.
As you should.
And Chops, let's give Logan a little homework. We're still trying to figure out a good name for Terrion Arnold. So if any gimmicks or any nicknames come up, shoot us over, or hit us with a surprise next time you come on. That'll be tremendous, because we're a little stuck on that one.
I'll get working on that right away.
Chop. Go one more, and then I've got like a balloon question that we should have asked first, but I'll ask it last or at the end.
Listen, Okri, I think as the host of the show, I think we got to wrap it up here. It's time to get I'm going to take the mic and I'm going to tell you to wrap it up. The studio producers are the red lights flashing here. Give them the balloon, give them the question, and let's call it a day here.
No, there's no wrap up, because the way you wrap up is this: Logan, what did you think about the schedule, bro? The schedule dropped. It's the hardest schedule of all time. Every game is freaking prime time, or against a division winner or Super Bowl contender. Like, what did you think? And are the Lions still going to do what me and Chops predicted, which is at least 12 dubs, a division win, home playoffs, and then a Super Bowl victory?
That's perfect. I know. When I thought we were going to be talking about the schedule a lot, and it didn't even occur to me that we haven't even talked about it once.
No. Chops dropped the ball. It was just his fault.
Totally.
The schedule to me is just, we already know where the teams that are going to be played, and on the road or at home. So I typically look at the bye week, and week 8 bye week, which is, I'm happy, content with that. I feel like it's always earlier than that, so week 8 feels like it's a great time. At least it's pretty close to the middle of the season. The primetime games are always fun, but every Sunday at 1 o'clock, sometimes I just find myself wishing that the Lions were on in that time slot, because that's kind of like my window where it's football time. The primetime games are fun, and they got a lot of them. They got a lot of nationally televised games. A lot of later afternoon Sunday games, which is all good. But yeah, overall, I mean, I don't get too worked up about the schedule. We already knew it was a tough schedule, and it's going to be, unless things change on a week-to-week basis, which we all know they do. So to me, schedule coming out, I can actually pencil things in the calendar and get things planned. But I don't mind the 1 o'clock games. I kind of miss that.
I think it's going to be not only a juggernaut, but super fun to watch, and they better come raring to go, because it's no joke week after week after week. So, Choppy Chop, speaking of no jokes, I'll go back to you. Do you have something big you want to end the show with? Do you want to yell in the mic? Do you want to do a hashtag? What do you want to do here to end, or you just want to thank Logan a million times like we're going to do, because he's another awesome guest, another Showtime performance by Mr. Lamorandier?
Well, of course, we're going to end the show with a lot of kudos to Mr. Lamorandier, but I think he's downplaying the toughness of the schedule a bit here. Like, before we could give him the kudos, I kind of want to, call him out a bit here. 11 games against playoff teams from last year, 7 of them on the road, man. Like, this is no joke. Like you said, only I think 4 games at 1 o'clock Sunday. Everything else is either prime time, late at night, afternoon, 2 Thursdays, some Mondays, and the Lions better come out ready to go, because it's going to be tough, man. I think it's a gauntlet, and they're going to be hard pressed to win 12 this year. So, I mean, I know you say we know what the opponents are, but dang, man, I was going through it when it was officially released, and it's just brutal.
Yeah, no, I mean, we knew that going into even before they released the schedule, like it was going to be a really tough path with all their road games are just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Every single one. Yeah, the Lions didn't lose a game on the road all year last year. Like that, if they did that this year, it would be a miracle. And even getting 15 wins, like 12 wins, I think the Lions are one of the best teams in the NFL. But it's still, 12 wins. That's sounds like it's progression, but at the same time, with their schedule, 12 wins, I think would be a really impressive 12-win team, and you'd hope it'd be enough to win the division. And I feel like as long as they take care of their division opponents like they did last year, they're going to be in a good spot. I highly doubt that the Vikings are going to win 14 games again this year. Yes, the Bears are getting better, but we'll see what they actually look like instead of just being the off-season winners. And Green Bay is always Green Bay. So I don't know. I don't have a whole lot on the schedule that's, breaking or anything like that. We knew who they were going to play. It's going to be a tough schedule, and it is. And they better be ready every week. But I'm not going to be disappointed if they only win 12 games because the teams that they face are good teams. It prepares them better for the playoffs.
Logan,
we can all agree that Chicago wins the offseason every year and then absolutely sucks when we actually play football. Can we all agree on that?
Choppy,
it's been like that way for a couple years.
Faraday presenta Ojos con Alergia y Picazón contra el Jardinero. Y el ganador es Faraday Extra Fuerte. Para aliviar la picazón de los ojos por alergia, actúa más rápido y supera a Claritin y Flonase aún a las 24 horas. Faraday, adelante.
This episode is brought to you by Factor. Optimize your nutrition this year with Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal service. Factor's fresh, never-frozen meals are dietitian approved, ready to eat in just 2 minutes. Choose from 40 weekly options across 8 dietary preferences like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Eat smarter at factormeals.com/listen50 and use code listen50 for 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Factormeals.com/listen50. Code listen50. Terms and conditions apply.
Chronic spontaneous urticaria, or chronic hives with no known cause. It's so unpredictable. It's like playing pinball. Itchy, red bumps start on my arm, then my back. Sometimes my legs. Hives come out of nowhere. And it comes and goes. But I just found out about a treatment option at treatmyhives.com. Take that, chronic hives. Learn more at treatmyhives.com.
Custom window treatments are a small upgrade that have a big impact. No better time to shop than now at Blinds.com's Memorial Day Mega Sale. Blinds.com invented a better way to shop for window treatments, completely online with upfront pricing, no showroom markups, no salespeople in your home. Choose from classic shutters to outdoor shades and more, all backed by our 100% satisfaction guarantee. Shop Blinds.com's Memorial Day Mega Sale now. Save up to 50% site-wide, plus a free measure. Rules and restrictions may apply.
It's time to rewrite the vacation rules. With Royal Caribbean, your family can look forward to just about anything. Break the thrill barrier, roaring down the tallest water slide in North America. Jump into breathtaking jungles and jaw-dropping coves. Vibe off the charts on our private island Perfect Day at Coco Cay. And end the day knowing things are just getting started. Because this isn't just any vacation. This is all the vacations. Come seek the Royal Caribbean. Ships Registry, Bahamas.
It's TBD if you ask me, but we'll see. We know they won't play well, similar to that. And you should have seen the people lambaste me when I came out my way too early predictions. They're like, Okri, you got us losing to Philly and Kansas City and Baltimore. And I'm like, yeah, those are going to be very tough games, mostly on the road. So I don't know. It's going to be crazy. It should be a fun season, but Logan,
are you going to let him sneak by Okri without giving us a win total? It doesn't have to even say who they're going to be against, but just let him sneak by there without giving that stat.
Part of me was going to let him because he's come so strong on this show. He's like paying Hutchinson a blank check. What did he say? He wanted to get rid of Fabio. He's just going to find another captain of our defense. He said Jamo is no good and can't put it. I mean, he really brought it this week. But yeah, what's your total, Logan, before we get out of here? Give us a wins and it better be right.
Truthfully, I think 12. I I haven't done that yet, but I would say 12 because it's going to be a tough road. But I think they're a good team, and they're gonna win some big games. So 12.
Nice. And the funny part with 12 is even when we sucked, I started the prediction at 10 and started working my way up. And so now it's like 12, 13's the baseline. And last year it's just crazy how this goes. It's a sliding scale for sure. So,
well, every week we're going to pick them to win too. So if we went by those predictions, they'd be 17-0. So.
That is the funny part about the pod every week. Score prediction. Chops, what do you think? 40-10. Every week's a dub. So I keep trying to close this. Chops, didn't you say we had to close up like 30 minutes ago? Like, we've went over an hour, which we know we would. Logan's always way too generous with his time. I get a little off the rails with the gimmicks, the drops, the takes. But, man, we've had fun. It's just flown by. So I don't think Chops is anything else. Logan, I just want to end by saying thank you again. We're hoping we can do this more regularly, and we just love talking ball, man. This is a great football team. It's a great time to be a Lions fan, and I'm glad you're carving out a little time in your crazy busy schedule to talk one of your passions, man, which is football and team building and all the stuff in between. So it's been great having you on the last few weeks.
Oh, for sure. No, I look forward to it. I say it every time. The time always flies by because we're having fun. So
no doubt.
I appreciate it, guys.
Oh, thank you. And Chops, it's not a coincidence that the numbers are out the roof when Logan comes on. I mean, the people love it when he's on the show.
And the people consist of the millions.
No one says this.
Who is this Rudy Poo?
Everybody, that's what we got. And we'll catch you next time right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast. Take care, everybody. We're out. Logan's the man.
Name cache.
Pack the bag, start the plane. This game is over. It is over. What a comeback by the Lions.
Drink it in, man.